G'day people, I'm up in Joondalup. I'm having a look at what I hope, well, it's the last of the safe active streets in the current program. Now what I'm looking for is actually a cycleway, the Robertson cycleway. I know it's somewhere to the north of me, and this is actually take two because I went the wrong way and missed it. So let's see if I find it this time. So on my left is freeway. I've ridden up on the other side of it, crossed over the freeway on a bridge, and on my right there's a whole lot of train station car parking. And from reading the very scanty blurb about this project, it was done back in 2017, there's hardly anything left on any websites about it that I could find. It's supposed to connect Greenwood Station, that's what that sign up there says, with some lake further west, a couple of k's that way. Can't remember what the name of it is. So I don't know if I'm supposed to be up here or whether I should have stayed on the path. I guess we shall find out. There's the big bike shelter that all these stations have. Now I just need to find my way out of here. Oh, for crying out loud. If I go down here, am I going to be able to get back up? Because I think where I need to be is on the other side of that overbridge. Somewhere over the other side of that, the cycleway starts. Now I can see an intersection coming up ahead to my right. I guess that's as good a place as any to give it a go. No, it's not. It's just a little, well hang on, maybe it is. Big yellow sign. Pedestrians and cyclists. Where is this going to take me? Into a car park. Now what do I do? This car park looks very dead-endy. Now, big yellow sign pointing me up here. This is where the main road is. And do I just ride parallel along here and this gets me onto the cycleway, or am I supposed to continue on north there for a bit and see if that takes me to the cycleway? Wayfinding in some areas leaves a heck of a lot to be desired. I know you can say, oh, everyone's got, phones, everyone's got Google Maps. Yeah, that's well, not necessarily true, but it means you're also relying on people to be looking at their phones, having a mount like this. The battery's not flat. You can see it in all weather. So people really want to have their phones on their handlebars if it's pouring with rain. Signs are just useful. Anyway, in front of me, obviously, we have a nice little shared path. Question is, am I on the correct path? I may end up riding up here and then finding that I should have actually been over there somewhere. Oh, okay. Big yellow sign. I can't. There's nothing wrong with those signs. Nice and big and yellow. Cyclists and pedestrians. It's just they don't actually say where you're going. It's just get off the road, get off the path here. Okay. Now I want to be going right, and that sign's pointing me left. Is that a hangover from a detour at some point? At some point they might have closed the path along the freeway and detoured cyclists through these back streets here, and they might have never bothered taking the signs down. Who knows? But that said, I may well run into the cycleway heading east if I continue along here. And if I don't find anything in the next couple of minutes, I guess I'll just have to flip the map on my phone on and see what I can find. Now, the one thing I did find from this, apart from what was built back in 2017, so the streets that run off to the east here, and coming off them going north-south, are a whole pile of cul-de-sacs. They kind of look like the spine of a fish, I guess. And think of this, they're like two fish bone things side by side with a reservation running down the middle. And that's where they've run the cycleway. There's down that reservation in between those series of cul-de-sacs. So all I need to do is find it. Nice orange thing. This is going, I might have to resort to the map in a minute because I might have completely missed where I'm supposed to be going. There's a path running through there. This is a cul-de-sac. Is that what I'm actually looking for? Nicely done. Oh, look at that. Okay, I think we found it. Ha! Okay, that explains the detours. So, shared path detour. I guess this is why I couldn't get onto it from wherever that was. Okay, so they're building a nice new bit of shared path along there. That's good. That detour is actually not too bad. Nice big map. I like that map, I gotta say. The size of it. There's no doubt about it. Look at this. Water fountain thing too. And you can fill up your bidon from it. This is pretty good. Okay, so what do we see about the shared path? It's not as wide as the more modern principal shared paths. You know, they can be 4 metres wide. This is, I'm guessing, 2.5, 3. It's still a good width. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. A bit of tree root damage along there, that's for sure, a bit uncomfortable. They've put concrete curbs down either side of it, which is really useful for stopping the grass growing into or under the asphalt, lifting it up and cracking it over time. So there's no damage from that. I've seen that happen in other areas where the grass just does a lot of damage to the asphalt. Separate pedestrian path in places, and at all these cul-de-sacs you can see there's a little path going off. That there looked like an old people's home or something. Had a let's go up this path. Yeah, very narrow, big bollard in the middle of it, and I guess that's to stop idiot car drivers coming down here and driving onto it. It's pretty overgrown. Needs a bit of tender love and care from the garden people. What do you call it? Parks and Gardens, Parks and Recreation. Now this might have been a pre-existing tunnel because they haven't. Well, it's got concrete to start with, and it's pretty darn narrow and it's very dark. There's no lights on in there. I guess they've just repurposed that. Bit of a cycleway. It looks like they've resurfaced all the cul-de-sacs too. A lot of them anyway, they're nice new black asphalt. Reasonable looking drainage there. It's got a fairly steep gradient through here. But again, you can see over there a narrow concrete path. Now, I'm guessing that was pre-existing, and they've squeezed this in next to it and kept the old path, which, when you put two together, Makes it seriously wide. There's been some, it's been very stormy here for the last week. A lot of rain, tree branches down, trees down. So that's why there's a lot of junk on the path, I think. Let's get the street sweeper out and have a clean up. Caltrop target area. Oh, it's puncture vines. Oh, it's the Shepherd's Bush Reserve. It's a nice map here. Beware snakes in the area. Now, I actually brought the other camera with me. So let me just get a bit of extra footage. Bit of B-roll. Snakes in the area, pathogen infested. Oh, that's nice. Now the signage along here is, the pavement markings is fairly faded. For some reason, the bike symbols they've put down like a black paint, I guess it is, and then put a white symbol on top so it stands out fairly well. That's good, except for where it's faded, and then you've got like faded white on faded black. They don't stick out too well. So I guess that says pavement markings probably need renewing, well, at least every 7 years if this is 7 years old. Should I ride in there on the way back and have a look? We shall see. So there's a kids cycle area down there. Now this bridge I'm on now, I think this is new. The old bridge got demolished in 2022. I saw a bit of video on Facebook. The old one had absolutely had it, and they got some machinery out and knocked it down. And they said they just replaced it with a road crossing. Well, that was a couple of years ago. I guess they found some money to put in a new one. Assuming that's the bridge I'm thinking of. It's a reasonably steep incline. That path over there, there are nice big markings on it saying it's pedestrian only, which is good. Keep the traffic separated. Got overhead lighting through here. I didn't notice that anywhere else, but anyway, it's here. It's nice and quiet. All these cul-de-sacs, there's just no vehicle traffic in them. Done through traffic after doing riding up the freeway, where you're on the wrong side of the noise barriers for most of it. It's very pleasant to come out here. You don't have the traffic noise. It looks like they've only got lighting in some areas. This area looks unlit. And I saw back there, the design of the poles changed. So they've got like UFO type lights up there. And they're in the trees. So, I don't know how effective they'd be with shadowing, etc. Now the surface quality, I'd say it feels a little bit corrugated that way, only very slightly at the moment. being dual suspension, I'm not really feeling it. People on road bikes might. Okay. This is probably where the old bridge got demolished. Silly me. Okay. So I guess the council hasn't found any money to replace it yet. We go left or right? I'm assuming we go right, left. In the middle of the road, it's not big enough for call. Honky nuts everywhere. Don't go slipping and sliding on them. And off we go again. Yes, that was an old wooden bridge. Kind of thing you see at railway stations, you know, the old, they still exist in some places. Maloonda footbridge temporary closed. Well, temporary. It's now been 2 and a bit years, I guess. I wonder what they define temporary as being. In council terms, I guess temporary is like anything less than 2 decades. Nice little kind of tree-lined avenue through here. The trees growing over the top. It's pretty cool. There's like a school there on my right, perhaps. It very much looks like a school, although I'm now too far away from it to be able to read what's going on over there. Okay, fairly steep descent here, so that's possibly one reason why it's bending around a bit. So it looks like going back up here. For sale sign on the path. I guess they're thinking their target audience, values a path like this as being a really useful feature in their lives. Okay, so it's a switchback. That's a couple of S-bends. Okay, that's going to be right going back. And there we have the lake in front of us. So let's see what the crossing's like. Okay, water station here. Haven't seen any tall things, but I'm carrying most of what I need in my backpack. There's no traffic on either side here to slow down drivers approaching this. Welcome to Yellowgonga Regional Park. Just for fun, let's go for a little ride around because there's a lakeside cafe here. It's 20 to 1 and I feel like a lunch and some coffee, so I'm going to go and look for that and we'll have a look at the lake as we go.
Well, I stopped at the Montessori school to see if they had bike parking, and yes, they do. They've got it just inside one of the gates in the car park. And you've got a nice view of the lake there, and it might give you a kind of a feeling as to what sort of a drop there is from up there on top of the ridge line down towards the lake. Now, there's some nice paths that go all around this lake. It's about maybe 6 kilometres around. They're not the world's greatest paths, but look, they're absolutely perfectly adequate, that's for sure. I guess unless there's heaps and heaps of crowds around. I've been up here in springtime when the flowers are out, and I've got to say it was really quite delightful. It's quite flat being around a lake. You don't get a really good view of the lake itself because it's hidden behind lots of trees. It doesn't really run alongside the waterline anywhere. You're a bit of a way back from the lake, but look, it's perfectly nice. Now, I went looking for this lakeside cafe and I didn't find it. I think I know it's in that Waldeck garden centre back there, but there was absolutely zero signage telling me where to go, so I gave up and went and found another place. Yeah, as you can see on this particular day, really no one out and about doing the lake. Not much in the way of pedestrians or dog walkers. Very much had it to myself, but it was quite a miserable grey day, as you can possibly see. So that was looping the lake. Now, from the lake, I never would have seen the start of the Safe Active Path, or Safe Active Street, or cycleway, whatever you want to call it, if I hadn't just ridden down it and taken note of where I had popped out, because there was just no signage whatsoever. But look, I guess if you're a local, you would know where to find it and it wouldn't be an issue. But if you're coming in as an outsider, wayfinding signage 0.0. Now going back was a heck of a lot faster than going there because it's essentially just rolling down the hill all the way back to the freeway. And in fact, I was going so fast it was hard to record because of all the wind noise, so we're just speeding it up all the way back. And got back to the detour, found my way back to back towards the train station, found a cafe, had lunch and a coffee, and all was good. So look, I don't know how this cycleway ended up getting Safe Active Street funding, and as you can see, it's not really a street, but makes very, very good use of a reservation and some existing infrastructure to provide connectivity across the suburb. So, I mean, that's really what these things are supposed to do. Right, that's it, the last Safe Active Street review for the Perth metro area.